Welcome back, people, to this long-awaited tier list. I know there's a drama, a beef going on, but we've finally settled it, and I've got two great guests on with me together. The guy from Halfway to Concord, Drew, and historian Eagle Arm.
How's it going, guys? Eagle Arm here. I'm back.
No, no,
Uh, Having a collab. What's up?
No,
I'm not streaming. I'm just doing my intro.
he's
What's
been-
up?
Many people thought he was dead, but he's actually alive. Now, guys, I need you to tell me your enthusiasm about medieval weapons. The weapons between 1,000 and 1,500.
What?
You know what's missing from this?
Rock.
What's missing?
CBT.
Where's the rock at?
PB.
CB,
What?
CBT.
CBT isn't a weapon.
Yeah,
That's
but
an action.
that's a method, bro. It could be
Yeah.
a torture technique. I don't know if I should.
Oh shoot! I just realized what that means. Took me a second.
Whoa! You just got
Wow.
enlightened. You touched
Thank God.
the.
Thank God we
fucking-
don't use
okay.
that one anymore.
May I suggest before we start?
Yeah, where do you want to start at?
We got to start with the club.
The club.
Start with the club.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think we should give our 2 cents. What do we think about the club?
I actually
I mean-
own a club. It was like my great grandpa's. He used it when he was
Oh shoot!
police officer in like Western times. I have it upstairs. It's not really effective. Like I've tried it. I've tried using it. It's okay. I'm gonna
Nothing's
say-
better for kneecaps though.
Yeah.
Listen,
no,
I'd like to
mean,
make an argument that club is an S. It's an S tier weapon.
S tier.
You
don't
don't know
need-
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because like all these other weapons, look at them. They all have like steel. They're made of iron and stuff.
Who-
Like the common man can't get a sword. Like a man's not gonna make a crossbow. You know what anyone can make though? A club.
And who?
So
Good
I think
point.
that it's like the everyman's weapon. It's like the most universal thing,
and I'm.
and I think that it's good because of that.
Yeah, and
You don't need to know how to hit a guy with a stick.
Yeah. No, I mean it's effective, but also I'm like kind of biased because I'm anti-steel because the Hittites that created steel were definitely look like the type of people that were anti-vax.
Oh,
Damn, crazy.
that's a good observation there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy insane right there.
So we going S tier with this?
I'm
Uh,
for it.
I'm for
Yeah, I'm
it.
for it
I'm
too.
for it. I'm for
Unless
it.
Drew, you got something to
No,
say
no, no,
about
no,
this?
no. The club is S. It's just easy. It's an everyman weapon. The
Oh.
weapon of the common folk.
It
That's what I'm
is.
saying. That's
Caveman tendencies. We got to get back to those tendencies. Now, I wanted to go next to the most recognizable. You know, these are like weapons that would be used in the 100 Years' War, like the longbow
Yeah.
or the long sword. You and the boys are rolling up on some Englishmen, you know, with Joan of Arc in your squad. You know, the only female in
Yeah.
your squad, and you're just like trying to run down some Englishmen. So, what are we thinking about here about the longbow?
Man has been wanting to hit people really far away for a long time.
That's true. That's
And the
true.
longbow allowed them, like, that guy over there, I want to stab him, but I don't want to walk over there. That's too much work.
I do
I'm
like.
just going to stab him from a distance. And that's
That-
kind of really
Whoa.
cool. That's important in the evolution, right?
You can hit them far away, but if they get close, you can use the longbow and hit them
Now-
with the longbow.
Now, like, when it was used in Lord of the Rings, do you guys think it was used, you know, when they were like at Helm's Deep? Like, if you guys have seen that movie, I mean, it was effective
Yeah.
in that movie. You know, Legolas was like hitting people left.
Yeah,
and
when
right.
Lego Man used the bow and arrow to kill all those guys, that was crazy. Whenever he was like shooting those guys,
Yeah, dude.
What's
but they-
even cooler is he didn't even need to get close to him.
Yeah, but he
right?
couldn't stop the suicide bomber.
Well,
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, dude, I remember that part.
yeah, me neither, but it can only do so much, right? It might have been director's cut. You never know. I'm sure if he saw it coming, right? If he was far enough away, like you should be, you know, that's the whole point of having the stick that stabs things far away, is to stab things far away.
It was definitely a weapon that, you know, did hit, you know, was very effective. I'm thinking about B tier. What about you guys?
I'd argue that it's at least A tier because like all these other weapons, like sure you can throw them, but like a longbow is pretty much one of the only ones that you can use to hit someone far away. And like if you've ever played Skyrim, I think everyone here knows that like sneak archer, OP, because you don't have to get close to someone. It's just like the range, pretty cool. That's what I think.
I probably am leaning towards a low A, so I'd say A tier for the longbow. That's my opinion.
Okay. Good. Now we got to hit the long sword, okay? It's all right. It was an improvement over the basic sword. but it's nothing flashy. It's nothing really. I don't know. I'm just
When you sing the longsword in the background.
Yeah. A prime example of it in the wild.
yeah, that was it in
actually.
the wild.
One should not underestimate the most important factor of the longsword, and that's the cool, right?
That is true.
Is anything really on the same level of cool as like sword? Like in a fight, there's things that matter, right? There's, can I like stab the dude, right? But what's more important than that? Did I look cool stabbing the dude?
And I actually used a lot to like cut people's heads off and stuff, and like who knows what else, you know, like King Henry the Fifth or whatever. I don't know if he could hold his sword this long, but
That's true.
How tall was he? Was he a short king?
I don't know.
No
I don't know if he was a short king.
Do you think he was like a little person?
I mean, I've seen the pictures of him. If you go by like the calf ratio to head size, I'd say like.
I mean, I wish we could have a nice breakdown of his height
like
and
what?
his like weight ratio and like. Do you? So you're saying that he was definitely like a little person.
I
I
feel like you're just putting words.
Conclusions. Yeah.
You've asked the question, then answered the question. I don't think we know.
Oh, I haven't even got to talk about the longsword.
Okay.
First of all, what even makes this longsword long? Like,
How long can
what's
a
the
longsword
difference
be?
between a longsword and a normal sword?
It goes by neck
Longer.
size, average neck size,
Oh,
like head size.
Neck size.
I don't know. I don't have a funny joke. Oh,
yeah.
thank
So
you.
like neck size is like, what if the guy had a fat neck? Like, is the sword longer?
I have a long neck, so I mean, I'm thinking like,
Long neck.
you know, like proportional to body. Like the guys that had to wield this had to be like really tall.
Dang, are you going straight there, bro?
Yeah, dude, we're going straight
Wow,
there.
that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. So what do we think, gents? What do we think?
I'm thinking my opinion is either A or S.
I'm thinking more B.
B, really?
I mean,
I'm thinking I agree. B, because like longswords are cool until you have to bring it inside. You know, like how are you gonna kill someone with a longsword if you got a ceiling over your head? You know.
Sword.
I'm putting it at B. So what are you guys thinking about the Warhammer?
I think that the lore, there's just way too much lore for like a new person to get into Warhammer.
It's too sophisticated.
You know.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
mean,
a lot about like the Emperor of Man or whatever, but I
like
don't really know what that is.
40,000 years in the future, like that's crazy, right?
Is there like books that go along with Warhammer? I thought it was just like a board game or something. I don't know.
I think there's like a movie or something, right?
What?
Yeah, or it's like a video, right?
Oh, I don't know.
With like the guys in the spacesuits, yeah.
I thought it started out as like you painted models and like I don't know. There's like a YouTuber that I follow that does Warhammer videos, lore videos. They're just like there's so many. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems a little too complicated for me, you know.
What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, Zach, what are you
think,
thinking?
I think you know what I think. You could definitely smash some people's melons in with this, you know?
Yeah.
This is heavy
Yeah, I mean
duty.
the instruction booklets are really big.
You know, this
Yeah,
is,
you could probably get some plate armor.
this is
Get
definitely
through some plate armor.
This is definitely like special
Carpenter friendly.
Yeah.
The guy on the special units team in the medieval era, like you're going into battle, the big thick guy would be using this Warhammer and he'd smash some people's melons in. So
Yeah, he'd know all the lore.
So we S tier for Warhammer.
I'd say so. It follows the same vein as the club.
You can like smash through armor with that, so it's pretty cool. Like, it really makes you think about like the modern iteration of a Warhammer, which is the ball peen hammer. And I think that that would also be S tier. So
Yeah.
clearly, so
We're going with that.
Yeah.
Can I choose like the weakest weapon here that I think is the weakest weapon? That's
yeah. Let's see the weakest one.
the dagger.
If you played Skyrim, right?
Oh.
There's that one dagger that has the chance to kill like instantly anything. It's like a 1%
Mabry's
chance.
razor.
That dagger's pretty cool. So to take that into account, right? Like other daggers could be cool too, right?
It's like a surprise weapon, I think. Like you could get someone with a dagger if they didn't know you had a dagger. You know, like if you throw the dagger, that's also cool. Like you could probably get them with that, but like at that point, like just take out a bow and arrow or something. A bad taste in my mouth. So
Very important. Yeah, take that into
Yeah, I can
account
almost
there.
throw up after hearing about that. So you guys thinking about C tier maybe?
I think it's D worthy.
Okay.
That's my opinion, though.
What
for D's.
D's nuts.
I don't know what some of these are.
The Bardite?
What is that? What is?
It's
Is it pronounced Bardiche?
Bardite. It's Bardite.
Bardiche? Is it
Yeah, it's like a
Bardiche?
poking weapon. There's a lot of like sticking,
Oh.
like a poking weapons in medieval times.
Poking and prodding.
Yeah.
What's the deal with poking, huh?
They had to poke something, right?
What's
What?
the deal with poking?
I think it was just
airline food?
from my research, I think it was just a fixation at the time. They had a poking fixation. So, you guys want to go
Yeah,
with the
you
Bardite?
just swing it and smack
Yeah, we can
it.
do that. We can do that. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like an orc has used that in Lord of the Rings, probably. I don't think I saw The Hobbit. I tried to read The Hobbit once.
Hobbit
And it was
is...
so boring.
No,
I
it's
stopped
not.
reading it.
I love the Hobbit.
The book or the movie?
The book and the movie. I mean, the movie is
Well,
very
it was
slow
in
paced.
middle school.
Well, I read it in middle school too. You don't have an excuse. Okay, so what are we thinking about the Bardite?
The origin, right? Like, what were they? They're like, you know what? We have this thing that we use to cut wood, right? The axe, right? You just put the wood on the log and chop it, and
Yeah.
comes out done, right? And they're like, I want that, but really, really big on a big long stick, and I can poke someone with it. So I think it's really a more evolved form of some of the other weapons we see on this list here.
Yeah.
And I think it could really hold a powerful spot in A tier. That's my opinion. That's just me.
I don't really know what a Bardite looks like, but if it looks like that picture, it just seems kind of like a funny design for a poking weapon. That looks like a cleaving weapon to me. Like, why are you gonna poke someone with the axe tip? Why don't you just poke them with a spear or something? So like, to me, the Bardite just seems like a less efficient spear.
What location are you thinking on this list here?
Like a C tier or something. Like, you can definitely use it to kill someone or something, but like, is it the most efficient?
I'm putting it in an A. I agree with you guys on that one. But talking about axes, the two-sided battle axe, I don't know. That's a classic. What are you guys thinking?
I think it's really cool that you use the picture of the Skyrim steel battle axe, it looks like.
Yes.
So that automatically gives it points in my eyes. It was kind of a slower weapon in Skyrim. Personally, I always preferred the Warhammers opposed to the battle axes, but it's a classic. Two-sided, pretty cool. You can swing and then return the swing. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know how efficient that would be to like swing and then return the swing. Like, usually when you swing something, it's a pretty deliberate action. You can only really go one way.
You do it, dude.
I would say probably goes B, so below the Bardite, but it still looks really cool.
Drew?
But I don't know.
Well, okay, I've been playing a lot of New World recently, and my character uses this weapon, a two-sided battle axe, right? And you're not thinking about the best way to use it, and that's to grab it at the very end and then spin in a circle like you're throwing the hammer throw in the Olympics. And you spin and you go so fast that it creates like a disc blade, right?
Yo.
And that's like, I mean, I'm sure back in medieval times everyone was doing it. It probably dominated the battlefield. Yeah, the meta. It probably dominated the meta for a while. The devs probably nerfed it a couple times. So I think it's unrivaled powerhouse of a weapon. Honestly, the nuclear weapons of its age. I personally believe it's S tier, but that's just me.
You're getting a little too pretentious on me here, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a little bit of pretentious, kind of an experimental take. I don't know if it's S tier. I'm thinking more A along with the Bardite, because you had to be kind of a, stocky or more bulkier kind of guy using this weapon for it to really be effective, because it weighed so much. So it did have kind of its limitations there, as, opposed to a smaller guy that has to, use like something like the falchion.
Can it do something that the Bardite can't? Like, that's my thing. Like,
it can hit with both sides.
Yeah.
But like, how often are you going to use that? Even your tornado ability that you described, I'm pretty sure you could do that with the Bardite.
You can go clockwise and counterclockwise.
Oh, that's a good. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy.
Yeah,
and if you're skilled enough, spin both ways at the same time.
I'm thinking maybe B, below the Bardite. But what do you? So you?
I'm still going. I think it should be B, but it seems like a lot of people have higher opinions.
I say we meet in the middle and go A.
Have you ever gambled on a fart and lost? I know I have. That's where today's sponsor comes in handy.
Hanes underwear. And this is their new line of underwear, as you can see. This is the Fart Repellent 3000. And let me tell you, these have come in handy because just a short mere months ago, during my summer job, I had a day where I had a bad burrito and I was just farting all around the store, hitting bodies left and right. I about committed a double homicide and they had to call EMT on these poor people that I farted on. And I was so embarrassed by the day's end, you know. But with these lucky suckers, they actually prevent a couple things. First, they're soundproof. Second, they also have a built-in fart repellent, so you know you can't smell it when you rip one out in public. And I just wish I had these back in the day, you know, at my job. So thanks for Hanes for sponsoring this video. Back to our regular scheduled programming. Which one are we taking next, guys? Are we doing another pole weapon, or are we doing the one-sided battle axe?
Close your eyes. Close your eyes and move your mouse around and pick one.
The Glaive. Oh no, not the Glaive.
The what?
The Glaive.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
Using a glove?
No, not the video game, not Glover. I'm not talking about the video game Glover.
We're talking about Glover again?
Glover.
Yeah. So
I mean, the game was fine.
It wasn't
People
bad.
really thought it was more than it really was.
I kind of thought it was okay. It wasn't a
Yeah, I think
terrible
Glover's actually really good. It's like a really good game.
It's actually kind of strange, but you know.
I think it's a bit overhyped.
Yo, Glaive's kind of based. Gonna say
I looked up an image of Glaive's and Thanos' sword came up, and I really gotta say Thanos' sword is pretty cool. So,
hey,
is that really a Glaive?
I don't know. It came up in Google Images. Ask Google Images.
what's that web?
I don't think that's a Glaive.
I found an actual one. Okay.
No.
Here's the real life Glaive. I'm sending images behind the scenes to co-star here.
Listen to this.
Oh, it's pretty goofy, but
listen to this, okay? You know, I'm not too heavy on the dagger or like polearm weapons, but I'm saying is that this has been quoted in the Bible. Like this weapon has been.
this weapon's in the Bible?
It's in the Bible.
The Glaive is in the Bible.
It's in the lore, dude. It's in the lore.
No way.
It's in the lore.
The
No way.
universe
That's
lore.
insane.
If Jesus co-signed this weapon, I'm definitely wanting to put it in like at least C tier. It's definitely better than the dagger. If Jesus co-signed,
It's at least C tier.
I'm comfortable with that. That's me though.
okay.
Yeah, I think C tier's okay.
Next, let's tackle the mace. Okay, not the stuff your mom has in her purse,
Oh,
but the actual classic weapon that was used by many gamers back in the day. What are you guys thinking?
I actually have a soft spot.
It's a
for this
bludgeon weapon,
okay?
by the way.
You
So
know,
it's kind of like
explain.
the club.
Because I like to think that this, well, the club walked. The mace could run, right?
Yeah.
The mace is just a metal club, and those thingies on the edges are called flanges, and they're designed to inflict as much damage as possible to people who are wearing things, the armor maybe, or even something, even
a t-shirt.
even a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, in some extreme, maybe even unheard of cases, a bicycle helmet, and
What?
the mace can go through it, believe it or not.
Crazy.
A powerful tool, a powerful weapon. I
Never saw
believe
that
it is.
far.
It is. I believe Mace is the top of S tier, even more than the club.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Morning Star. I can see the Morning Star's right next to it. I don't know.
An
Is the Morning
inferior
Star
copy.
really inferior? Because it has a cool name. Like Morning Star, that's a pretty cool name. Like, what if you're like sleeping and you're like, oh, here comes the Morning Star, and then you just get hit by that? Like, that's pretty cool. That's like a funny, like a slapstick way to get like hit by a medieval weapon.
Oh, so they used morning stars to attach to like ball and chain, also, by the way.
Oh,
And
That's
I
a
hate.
flail, actually.
I mean, they attached a morning star to the flail, but what was I gonna say? So they're in like with Morningstar, like there's a pizza place in Lawrence called Morningstar Pizza. Has anyone?
the taste really hits you when you
Yeah,
take a bite.
it does. It puts a nice like rusty taste in your mouth. You know, you might have to get a tetanus shot afterwards.
Pizza's
Ooh.
so good it puts you in the ICU with a head wound.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Mace.
yeah.
Mace, in my opinion, I'm saying S tier. It's up there with the club.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess
2v1. 2v1. It's got to
Man.
go S.
Okay.
we kind of
Morningstar.
also did the morning.
C tier?
Well,
Well, are we
In
counting a
theory.
morning star on like a chain also?
Yeah, we'll put it in there with like a flail also, kind of like.
Well, that's cool because you can like swing it around and throw it at
Yeah,
people.
but dude,
it's
that
like
makes-
it's like
that makes me sick.
think about it. It's
bro.
like a dagger. It's like a throwing dagger, except for you got a chain on the end. So like if you miss, you can just pull it back.
I can't even think of that, dude.
But what if you hit yourself with it?
That's
like
what I'm
nunchuck?
so worried about. I would be so worried about doing that.
You don't want to be spinning it above your head. You're not paying attention. Kind of goes off kilter, and 1 second you're spinning your morning star, the other second you're talking to the holy gates.
Anyways,
So I'm thinking the morning star's D. It's the worst weapon.
What?
oof.
Yeah.
It's at least better than the dagger.
I
for
don't like
sure.
flails because let me tell you, when I was a kid, I had a pair of I used nunchucks one time and I accidentally hit my nads, and it was like
Oh shoot!
worst pain I was in for a while. So
Some would call those nadchucks.
nadchucks.
Well, just
Yeah.
imagine how much more painful it would have been if it
Nunchucks.
was a morning star. Like that. That's like pain factor. Pain factor is probably good for a weapon, I would think.
That is a good point. As long as it's inflicting pain, whether it's you or anyone else, is irrelevant. If it's good at it, it's a good
That's
weapon.
what I'm saying.
I'm saying
That is a good way to think of it. I'm willing to raise my opinions to a C. but
Okay,
I'm
okay,
still-
okay. Epic. That's what I was thinking about too. Okay, next, do we do the crossbow? That's a classic. The
Crossbow.
Yeah, the crossbow. Wow. I love the crossbow. Personally, I think it's automatic. Not automatic. I mean, you still have to load the sucker, but I don't know. It seems like a lot more fun than the longbow, right?
Crossbows are copycats of bow and arrows. Like they think they're all fancy pants. Like, oh, it's like buying the new iPhone right away. It's like, oh, look at all this cool stuff you got. It's made of steel. Ooh, you can shoot a crossbolt. But it doesn't have the elegance and the grace of the longbow. In Skyrim, if you get a crossbow, you have to buy the steel bolts. You have to go in the Dwemer ruins to get the crossbolts from the Dwemer Centurions. So, like, I don't know, like crossbows, for me, even in Minecraft, like no one uses a crossbow if they have a bow and arrow.
So you're
So it's
telling-
always been like a second rate.
I also think the crossbow has a bit of an identity crisis, right? It's like, am I a pickaxe? Am I a bow? What am
I
I?
didn't think
Right?
of that.
Like,
I didn't either.
what is it? Like, I mean, if you pick and choose, man, come on, you got to pick.
I
mean,
think
I'd
it's
give
a
it.
C.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I'm saying more A, but I'm willing to two versus one. I'm choosing B.
Okay.
Three.
All right, we'll compromise.
Compromise.
I-
The Falchion. What are we thinking about the Falchion?
I think pirates are cool, and
I
that
do
looks like a
too.
pirate sword. So
Similar to a
Have you ever played Fire Emblem? Like all the heroes use falchions. Like the falchion is like the holy sword in Fire Emblem. Marth's got a falchion. Like Marth's got a falchion. I'd say it's funny. It's also a funny sword. It's got the little handle. It's got the little guard. Like kind of looks like Kylo Ren's sword.
It was definitely a
creepy.
cheap man's sword of the day. Not to mention that, but also, I mean, it was created in what was it? It was created in like France, and you know my opinion on the French guys.
Oh. Yeah.
That
not lower it a few notches. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
To me, I feel like it's a mid pick. Like it's not too fancy, but it's also not bad.
But it's not as
It's
good.
like-
It's not as good as the longsword. The material is.
I'd agree with that.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I can
The
see that.
longsword has two sides, right? It can cut on both edges.
Yeah.
The falcon can't do that. So
It's just like the Count Dooku
I mean-
sword.
You
of
smack people with the
medieval
falchion.
times.
I feel like that'd be kind of cool, kind of funny, kind of a little funny gag to hit someone with it.
do you think the falcon can throw its shine?
Falcon.
Probably not. I'd say C.
Did you guys hear that sound effect I used?
No,
What the heck did you?
I didn't hear anything,
did you
actually.
relinquish
No
a fun or
way.
something?
yeah.
Here, let me see. What?
I can't hear that.
What?
I hear.
I've been using that sound effect this whole time. I thought it was funny. It
didn't
was like a
know-
comedic little.
I've had no idea. I've never heard
I
that.
used-
We'll insert it in post, right?
Okay, the halberd, guys.
can't do
We
it.
gotta get serious. This is very important to me.
It's kind of a funny weapon. It has bird in the name, but also it makes me think of the birds on campus, which I hate those birds.
Good.
Why is it the slingshot on here?
It's not medieval.
It's
That's
not
like
medieval, it's-
caveman times.
That's like
Listen.
That's like
in the
Lake Titicaca.
Teotihuacan.
But it sounds pretty
Is it
cool.
Teotihuacan or is it Tenochtitlan?
I thought it was Techno-Cheatlan, like techno music. I'm sorry for any Mayans
Teo-
watching that we mispronounced.
That's Aztec City, bro.
Aztecs. Oh crap! Dang, we're gonna get
Fake
canceled.
fan.
You got trolled hardcore.
We're gonna get
Yeah, you're
canceled.
getting trolled.
So-
Probably for everyone.
So we're thinking the C, right?
I'm thinking it's
It's
middle of the
not-
road. I can agree.
Yeah. C is fine, I think.
Okay. What about the sword and shield? My thoughts out of my little brain
Yeah.
says that sword and shield. I mean, yeah, sword and shield is a S tier. I mean, actually, wait a minute. Yeah. I would be willing to deviate down to an A.
Yeah. I still think A's a little high, but as long as it's not S tier.
Okay, what was your thoughts on the sword and shield?
I'm thinking B because like a sword's cool, but like a shield, what's up with that? Like how well is a shield gonna really protect you against like a warhammer or something, or a mace, or even an arrow, or a sword?
It's kind of lame. You have one hand with the sword, right? And you're like, the first thought is, let's not put a sword in the other one. Like that's stupid.
Exactly.
Just do two swords, right? It just seems better. But I feel like that's just a personal opinion matter at that point. So I'm willing to put it. I'd say B. My opinion.
You know what? I'm rethinking it. Well, is
Dude,
it a
why do you have
medieval
to do
sword and
this
shield, or
every
can it
time,
also be
bro?
a Roman sword and shield? Because that was pretty cool. Like
But
they
it
got
was
the
small.
fish.
Those momos had their like legs exposed and stuff. They were like wearing skirts while they were swinging those.
Yeah,
What?
really
All about
flexing
the
on the
movement.
enemies.
It's like the kilts. You can like do sick karate kicks, which I'm sure
It's
they
like-
did all the time. So like,
They don't
You
even
know.
need pants. They'll murk you without pants, pretty much.
who needs pants
Okay.
when
What?
you have the sword and shield?
Yeah, I can do B, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
What about the poleaxe? What are we thinking about the poleaxe?
Poleaxe. I'm gonna look that up again.
It's-
Poleaxe.
Well, I know what it is. Let me tell you what it is.
Oh,
It's an axe.
On a pole.
Believe it or not, on a pole.
you know what?
Hard to imagine, but
I've actually used a poleaxe before, and it was really crappy, and it broke. It's got a hammer on one side. You can't even hit anything with the hammer; it'll break.
well,
Yeah.
it's meant for hitting people.
I'm thinking taking that into consideration of what you said about it breaking for you. I'm really
Yeah.
thinking of maybe a D.
I can agree.
Yeah.
An inadequate weapon. An experiment, some would say admirable, but I think it falls short.
You know, it's like death grips, right? I mean, but I guess death grips is like considered good.
Yeah, it's just like death grip.
It is actually, yeah. Like I didn't
Literally
think about
death
that until you mentioned it, but it is like one to one.
Too experimental for my taste. Okay, we're down to 2. Which one are we picking, the bill or the one-sided axe?
Bill, I don't know. Let me look up Bill.
I know what the bill
No, not a Bill.
Not
Who is this?
not
Bill Gates.
Not Bill Clinton.
is. Well, if I may enlighten you, it's
Bill
the bill
Nye.
hook.
It's a very similar
Oh.
to the barchide and the halberd, but
It's
it's
This
used.
just looks really complicated. What's up with all these things?
it's another
poking out?
polearm weapon, of course.
More things to poke people with.
That's true.
I think it is what the poleaxe wanted to do, but better.
Looking at this, it looks like the Swiss Army Knights of poking thing. So
Yo,
I think
that
it would
is-
be like,
Yo, that is complicated. What the heck is going on with that?
I'd argue maybe it's
It's like
the
a
S
utility.
tier.
It's almost like a
poking weapon.
utility.
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Well, Swiss
You got the
Army
hook.
knife of killing people, right? I think it's
Yeah.
really just a masterclass example of a big stick meant to kill people.
Sadly, OBS stopped recording after this, but I believe we did pick the last weapon to be in like A tier because it was just an absolute classic. But I want to say thank you for sticking all the way through this video, and make sure you give it a like, a subscribe, and hit the bell notification.